Well, good evening, everybody. It is Brad.
And I'm Christa.
For the Big Family Homestead. And yes, there was flames and explosions, and it is Prepper Monday.
And yes, we are live at home.
It has been one crazy week, ladies and gentlemen.
I know, honey. It's been one crazy month. And I am so glad that it's almost over.
And I am so glad to see you guys here. Why don't we say hi to some folks?
Hi to some folks.
Hi to some folks.
Hi to some folks.
Hi to some folks.
How's that?
Well, on your mark, get set, say hi to some folks.
Thrifty BG, the Adaptive Maritimer, Linda. I'm not even going to try to say your last name. They're from Houston, Texas. Crystal Beasley, Monica Sherman, Baker Mom, Tammy Hansen, Felicia Phillips, Kelly, Kathy B, Helen Helms, Hearts, Hearth, and Homestead. I think they made that channel just so that I could get all flipped up and mess up.
Is it like picking a peck of pickled peppers?
Probably. Getting started on homesteading. Teresa, Michigan Daffodil, Alicia, Richard Barnes, Amanda, Kathy O, and Kathy B are here. That's pretty cool.
All right.
Renee Hendricks, North Star Prepstar, and Tyler Woods, and Heather going back.
And we will continue to say hello as our eyes catch your names.
Right.
But welcome to Prepper Monday.
Yes.
And tonight is going to be pretty cool because we've been doing a little research on the different channels and different blogs and different posts and air quotes, experts' opinions on what the top tools you need to start with basic prepping. Not like these are actual tools. Like I can hold them in my hand. Tools.
It's not just knowledge. They're actual physical tools.
And one other cool thing about this is I made a call to a few channels that we're friends with, like Bear Independent.
He has to say it just like that.
No, I actually can go lower than he can.
Oh.
there. And we talked about it. But anyway, Tyler Woods is going to be here. Well, I think he's already here. Prepsteader Bob, and we chatted about what their basic ideas, and I had to force them reluctantly to pick one. They didn't want to pick one.
No, I think Prepsteader Bob gave us like 30.
Well, yeah. So not only is this going to be the air quote experts' opinions, but it's going to be our opinions and some channel friends' opinions.
Okay, I have to ask I have to answer a funny question.
Do it.
Did I get highlights? Did I get highlights, honey? No, these are actually
stripes. Those are stripes.
These are stripes I've earned over the last 40 years. These are gray. This is total gray right here going on.
Why don't you think I wear my black hat all the time? It's right over there and I forgot it.
Yeah, no. Thank you for the compliments on my hair, and no, those are not highlights.
They look lovely.
It's a badge of honor.
No, what does the scripture say? Wisdom. It's a blessing.
I don't think these
it's a blessing.
Necessitate wisdom.
So, good evening, everybody. Hey, I wanted to point something out real quick because there were one or two people that kind of gave us a little bit of shtick last week in the comments section. You may or may not have seen the shtick because it may or may not have shown up for you. The reason why is this. I think we're getting an influx of new people, which is super cool, but they don't understand, like, our format is, yes, we talk about serious topics, but we do it in a fun way.
Okay.
And so there's silliness.
Yes.
This is not
this
is not the let us talk about.
I was curious of what you were talking about because I had forgotten about the shtick that people had given us.
There's a couple that were not happy that we were having fun. They wanted us to be like, you will prep now.
Okay. Can I make a
we put the fun in apocalypse. Yeah.
It doesn't work out. Right
sure
now.
does.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring on the zombies.
Here's the thing. There are times to be serious. Yes. And there are times to be silly. And I feel like when we talk about things like this, we cannot be just serious all the time.
You'll give yourself an aneurysm.
Right. And honestly, this is the way we are pretty much all of the time, unless we're arguing about something, which
and then we
does
get more
happen.
Hair, more gray hairs.
Then I have more of these.
See, I wonder, and yes, I am king of rabbit trails. I'm the king of rabbit trails. I already thought about 10 different things just then to say.
Horns.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering, what's that movie with Jimmy Stewart, The Christmas Story, where the town comes and saves his house and saves his thing?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes, I love that movie. But every time an angel... a bell rings.
A bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
So is it like every time a gray hair pops up, what happens?
I get a little bit more wisdom.
What do you guys think? What would that be? Every time a gray hair shows up, then somebody eats nice pie. I don't know. Anyway, say hi to a few more folks before we get cranking, Mama.
Hi, a few more folks. Mo Homesteading. I just put a cough drop in my mouth. Mo Homesteading. Heather McFly. No, you may not have the Telecaster.
Oh, who's Heather McFly?
That's a GNL.
Well, no, it's still a Telecaster.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Where's Heather McFly?
No, Heather. And then McFly.
McFry.
Homesteading with the Herberts. Tyler Woods.
Trade you 50 chickens. Maybe after the apocalypse. Then it would be a good deal.
Yeah, because...
chickens might be worth more than electric guitars.
Maybe a little bit.
Anyway, hello. So before we get into our lists, and yes, I have lists. I have many lists.
I even made a list.
And I highlighted my lists. I have circled and done things. But before we do, just quick recap. Tell me what your week is like, Mama. What?
All right, Bob, knock it off.
What's he saying?
Well, he said constipated people are never fun.
Oh, yeah. No, he's not talking about us.
They're full of it. I know.
Ah, ha, ha, ha.
I know.
You know what? PSB, I can't wait to share your suggestions. I made a list. He texted me a list because the smoke signals aren't working. It's very wet here today.
We have Bob books.
Not Bob the Builder, Prepsteader
No,
Bob.
we have Bob books. They're
Bob
they're
books.
they're an early reader book.
Like Prepsteader Bob books, they're like lots and
Mhm.
lots and lots of pictures.
Yeah, Sam
Pictures.
and Matt, you know,
See Bob run.
sat on a
No,
mat.
that's
Yeah.
silly. He would never run. I'm just messing with
Not
you.
unless
Dude.
something was on fire.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what they say.
All
Sorry.
right. We're
Focus.
razzing Prepsteader
Just
Bob, and we need to
teasing.
quit.
What's up, Steve? Okay. Now, McFly, I would need an amp for those 50 chickens. Dude, man, you drive a hard bargain. I got a PV Rage sitting over here with your name on it. And if you know anything about musical instruments, that's not a good deal. So anyway, all right, top items for prep setting. Now, here is the format, guys. Please interact. You guys, we love to chime back. We love to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Mud Puddle, I love me GNL guitars too. Yes. See?
All right, squirrel.
I'm back now. Okay. So we love to chime in, and the idea is the framework is going to be prepping.
Yeah.
Top items. So if you have an addition, type it in. Type it in. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, why don't we talk about what the experts said before we get to our celebrity what?
I think I'm just giggling because you're like experts.
Experts.
Because they've labeled themselves as experts
and
on these online websites.
I am expert because I have prepped in my mind for many moons.
You know, they very well may be experts, but we don't know them. So.
Well, I can tell you this. Our celebrity preppers, they really are experts.
Yeah, they really are.
Okay, but this is one I absolutely agree with that I think that should be in a top 10 list, and that is absolutely right there. This came from an expert that I think is true.
Yeah, a fire starter kit definitely is a must-have, because if you don't have heat or, well, a way to cook food, you're going to eat a lot of cold food.
And eating cold, uncooked beans is zero fun. You're going to need new dentures.
Gross.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
But if they were dry beans, you could actually use them to plant to make more beans.
True.
And get lots of beans.
That you can't eat.
You can when they're yes, you can. You can eat them when they're raw, when they're in the pod. You can eat them like that.
That's funny.
They don't taste very good, but
Life of Nina says I've tried Thrive and love it. I will be using your channel to order next time. Thank you, Nina. That's very kind of you.
We love the Thrive lifestyle.
We'll talk a little bit about that
in
the past. Expert has been a drip under pressure, says Tyler Woods. Okay, to the fire starting kit, I would like to add a couple things, guys. Oh, by the way, all the stuff we're talking about is in the list down below. So if you're like, hey, what is he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. There's lists down there so you can go, oh, now I understand, or hey, I want to get one, and in which case that does help our channel out. So thank you. Now, I would say two things that I would absolutely add to a fire starting kit. Now, waterproof matches. Mm-hmm. Not just lighters, because sometimes those things malfunction. Sometimes they break, the little Bic lighters. And I would definitely recommend, get that pack. There's like, they're $4, $5 at Walmart.
8 or 9 of them in the pack. And
throw them into a survival bag or somewhere, store it away. That's one of the things that, that people that have been through horrible stuff, like in war-torn areas, that is one of the key things that they want is ways to create fire. Because a lot of people are not skilled with rock and stone.
Right.
But also, I would like to add to this fire starting kit. Now, this is kind of cheating. And I frankly don't care because when you're talking about surviving, there is no cheating. No. What those they're torches that you hook onto the little cylinders of propane. Mm-hmm. I got ours from
Harbor Freight.
Harbor Freight.
Well, and we went back to Harbor Freight and couldn't find them.
Yep. Well, we're coming into the cold weather season.
Yeah.
But you can get them for, I think they were like $15.
I think it was only 8 or 9, honestly.
It'd be nice.
I don't know.
But you screw it onto those little propane cylinders, and it's a torch, man. It's like they're designed for sweating pipes for like plumbing. but you've got the blue flame torch coming out of there.
Oh yeah, it's great for starting the fire up in the wintertime.
Fast and cheating.
Love it. And it is cheating, and I don't care. But you know what else? Something you can add to that fire starting kit? Your dryer lint.
Oh yeah.
Don't throw it away. It's not a waste. Just
Absolutely.
stick it in a Ziploc bag or an old coffee can or something like that.
Yep.
Hang on to it. It's a great way to get fire started. And you can make your own little fire starters by saving the toilet roll from your toilet paper and stick a bunch in there, and that'll help.
There's a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a million ways to make fire. And that's the thing, guys. But here's something that we're going to come back to probably again and again and again over the evening is if you just have this stuff, that's not good enough.
You got to know how to use it.
You got to know how to use it. And so that means get it now, learn how to use it, and then have more on the shelf. Oh, she's a bottler. Suburban Homesteader says, love the videos.
Oh, thank you.
Love you.
Thank you.
Love you.
Well, okay, and Megan's, I'm not going to butcher your last name, but Megan says dried beans can be ground into flour, because we were talking about dry beans a minute ago. And that, I had never heard of that. That sounds like a great idea.
Red, white, and blue wood shop. I remember this guy. He's been negative for a long time. Where you been, man? What's going on? Freeze-dried food is a waste of money.
No.
I would beg to differ, and I think many people here would beg to differ as well.
No, it's not,
'Kay.
honestly. But
anyway,
that is your opinion. You're entitled to it.
That's right. And look at me not deleting the comment.
No.
Stay nice and you'll stay. That's cool.
That's right.
All right. So fire starting, it's hugely important that you know how to do it, that you have the stuff. And I don't know who canned the term. Tyler Woods or Prep Star Bob would absolutely know this, but somebody canned the term. 2 is 1.
Coined.
I'm an audio guy. You put it in the can. It's in the can.
Okay. Coined.
Coined the term.
Okay.
Grenades are easier to point than shotguns. But you don't want to take grenades necessarily fishing or hunting for birds.
No.
So, but who coined the term 2 is 1 and 1 is none?
I remember Prep Sitter Bob telling us that. But
They'll probably know. But that is honestly the truth.
Excuse me.
That is honestly the truth. So if you can afford to get one of those torches, get 2. And we've already gone through 3. Because the piezo, it basically uses like a click to ignite it, and you could light it. You could light it with a lighter or a match or something like that. But it has got a click light if you get it just right, and they're great, but they go bad over time.
Okay.
They go bad over time.
Yeah.
So anyway, fire.
Okay. Megan's last name is pronounced Balky. Thank you.
Did you get it?
No, she said she told me, because I didn't want to butcher it, her last name, so she told me. So
Richard Barnes, Pastor Joe Fox.
see, lots of people, I'm sure lots of people have said it, but we have no idea who coined it. It could be some random person, then it got picked up, and
I have just seen a name of a channel that begs to be repeated live because it's a cool name. Catcher in the Rye Bread.
Catcher on the Rye Bread.
Catcher on the Rye Bread.
Catcher on the Rye Bread. That's a clever name.
Very clever name.
Yes.
So you deserve to be heralded as clever name.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. Experts also say. What did the guy on A Family Feud just say? Show me blood. I don't know. I don't know what he said.
I haven't watched that show in 15 years.
Compass and a map.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we've just been experiencing that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So most of us rely on these for directions, right? Well, I should have brought the atlas inside. Invest in an atlas or a state map or something like that, but you need a map. You need to learn map reading skills. Teach your kids. Don't let them rely on a phone for directions. It was one thing that we got for Claire before she went off to college.
Yeah.
Was an atlas.
Mike got it. I knew he would know it. Survey says.
There we go.
Sorry. Continue.
That's okay. But a compass, and know how to use it as well. Use it in conjunction with your atlas or your state map so that you know your area, know the just know it. But
Dindo Nuffin is making an excellent suggestion. BLM maps. Bureau of Land Management maps. They have maps that the general public doesn't get a hold of.
well, how do you get a hold of those?
That is an excellent question, Dindo. Why don't you explain to us, please, how we get BLM maps? Is that a Google search, or is that something you have to go and like say, hey, I want to buy these. I want to buy them in paper form.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that you're going to hear reoccurring again and again, and I've been a broken record with this for years, is get a physical copy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just go, it's on my phone, so there I have it, right?
Right.
No. Because what happens when the phone runs out of power? And then you would go, oh, well, then I'll plug it into my solar. Well, then what happens if that doesn't work? Or you're stuck somewhere else? A physical map, and physical information is indispensable. So.
Right. Okay.
And learn BLM website. There we go.
Okay. Well, also, Prep Starter Bob said that at every rest stop, there are free state maps. And I wish we had picked those up, but I already had an atlas. So we really didn't need a state map. And it's one of the ones that's on a spiral. It's really, really neat.
Yeah, and another thing I'm just noticing, an excellent point Tyler Woods has brought up, learn and navigate by solid landmarks that cannot be moved, like Brad. Brad cannot be moved.
Your solid landmark.
No, things like mountains, things like big rocks, immovable things that just are not going to be there.
Right.
So, other things, though, is compass. Learning how to use a compass. When I was a kid in Boy Scout land.
Yeah, you were in Boy Scouts when it was still okay to be
boys,
in Boy Scouts.
You know, just boys and men in the woods. Mm-hmm. Learning how to do stuff. Mm-hmm. And one of the things we had to do for our merit badges was obviously map reading, using a compass. And one of the things that they did at the particular summer camp that I went to was they would drop you off with a map and a compass about 5 miles away from home base.
And you had to get home.
You had to get home. Mm-hmm. And it was amazing because they taught you well. And there are plenty of resources out there, guys, on how to learn how to do this. But once again, it's not enough to go, well, when everything goes bad, I'll learn how to do this. That's like learning how to garden today.
Right.
It takes a long time.
Mm-hmm. It sure does.
What?
Nothing. I'm just reading a few comments. Life of Nina asked if it's cold here. It is, actually. It has been darn near 70 all week.
And I've loved it.
It's unusually cold this week. It's usually in the mid 90s. The last few weeks of August. It's not that. It's darn near cold. And actually, I noticed today the leaves are starting to change.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of bummed about that, actually.
Yeah. Learn how to use a compass, guys.
Yeah.
And I see that someone was saying our son is teaching us land navigation. That's cool.
Oh, very cool.
Morris Patch of Heaven Homestead. Mm-hmm. Hello.
Very cool.
Thank you. My boys are learning that in Scouts right now. Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because you never know, guys. I mean, if all of a sudden you couldn't use your vehicle and you're on foot, would you be able to get from point A to point B without using a road?
I know.
Would you be stuck in a swamp going, All I wanted to do is get over to there where I know they're trading food and stuff, and I need food, but I don't get there and stuff. I'm in a swamp now.
Oh my goodness gracious, that's funny.
So, map reading, very, very important.
Yes.
Survey says. Should we stick with these guys? Yeah, let's save them for later. What do you think?
Okay.
This is one that we actually fully endorsed, but didn't even think to put on the list.
Right. Sprouting seeds and planting. Excuse me. I'm going to shoot this little tiny cough drop out of my mouth. And planting seeds. these are things that you're going to want to be able to, you're going to want sprouting seeds so that you can get food going quickly
Fast.
in your house. These don't require a ton of light to grow.
They don't require any.
No. And honestly, they don't even require soil to grow.
Nope.
You can start them in a mason jar. You soak them for, I think, 12 hours.
Yep.
And then you strain them out. And then you put them into a shallow plastic container.
A tray of some kind.
A tray, yeah, something like that. And those seeds will start to sprout. You water them every day, and rinse them out, and
good to go.
Yep, you'll get some microgreens very quickly.
And you pay out the nose if you want to buy those things from like a health food store or like Whole Foods where it's already ready to go. Mm-hmm. We used to grow them like crazy for our rabbits. Mm-hmm. And we got these donut trays from a closing grocery store. So they're like, 10 inches wide and maybe 1.5 feet long, and nice fiberglass, thick donut trays, the display donut trays. Right. And so we just stacked them up on one of those metal racks. We
put some holes on one end and kind of tilted them a bit so that when we watered, the water would drain off and not sit and get gross and stagnant. So
that's right. And you can grow those things up in a matter of days, and they are power packed with nutrients. Mm-hmm. We used to give them to our chickens and our rabbits because if you give a grain that is not sprouted, it's about 20% of the nutrition in that seed that the animal's going to be able to digest and use. But if you sprout it, it's a flip-flop. You get about 80% of the nutrients out of that seed.
And you can use 80% of that plant.
Correct.
Versus only the 20%.
Correct.
So yeah.
Correct. And once again, I'd like to point out that most people don't understand that everything that seed needs to grow is in the seed to get to maturity. Mm-hmm. Except for water. For
I think the first 8 days.
Right. But you get that seed from zero to I have tons of nutrients out of this. I can grab that and eat it, and you're off to the races.
Catcher on the Rye Bread says it tastes like wheatgrass tastes like foot. When was the last time you ate a foot?
I would agree that
I would agree.
I probably wouldn't want to eat it.
No.
Which is why I don't like eating the moringa powder that I use for my arthritis.
Tastes like grass.
Tastes like grass, man.
Right.
Tastes like grass.
Donut seeds. That's funny. But however, if you don't have
it doesn't even require light.
It doesn't require light. It's just something that is a quick, easy thing to sprout that is going to get you through to you getting some plants in the ground. So.
Well, and I would even say it'll get you through with good, healthy food in those times where you can't do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
I mean, if you can't get to the grocery store and you're not good at hunting or fishing or gardening, you're going to need something other than your dried stuff that you stuck away.
Right. You're going to need some fresh foods, some fresh greens, and microgreens are a great way to do that. I'm not even saying, the wheatgrass. You can get a variety of, you can do lettuce seeds and do the microgreens of the lettuces, and
they make mixes that are really cool.
They make really cool mixes. So might be something to stock up and just kind of hang on to.
Oh my gosh, everybody's obsessed with feet now and what they taste like. Whoever started that.
It was Catcher on the Rye.
Gah. Okay, I'll drink the wheatgrass. I agree. Oh, Phoebe, shame on you. All right. So now.
Nasty.
This is one that I fully am all in 100%.
Wait, before you go into that, Michigan Daffodil's asking, where can you get safe seeds to sprout? What's the name of that one company? Shoot, we got them from JLAR. We got some from JLAR.
We'll have
to put it.
You know what? That sounds like a video we need to make. What? I think we did make a video.
We did make a video on that. There were some ancient Egyptian.
It was like Ancient Grains.
Ancient Grains or something like that.
Sounds majestic.
Yeah, go back and look at after this, go back and look at
Oh, hey,
a few months ago we did a sprouting grains video, and we talked about the brand that they're organic and heirloom. They're great.
Bandana Grandma.
Hi, Bandana Grandma.
Hello, and thank you for moderating.
Yes.
All right, another one that is not in our celebrity panel. Okay. Is a flashlight that is really good.
Yeah.
Now, my requirements for a flashlight, there's different kinds of flashlights for different kinds of applications. Mm-hmm. I like to have the little pocket-sized ones all the way up to the torches that you can just burn holes in deer's faces.
Yep.
From 500 yards away.
Through night.
That's
the name of it.
Right.
And earlier, I was trying to think of the brand, and I couldn't think of it.
But my requirements that I like to have, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on getting a good flashlight. I like to get as many of them as rechargeable as possible. Mm-hmm. Lithium ion, if possible. I like to make sure that you can at least get it to where you can focus the beam, where you can do a wide spread, like a flood, and then down to a beam. I also like to make sure that you've got different settings of lumens, brightnesses, because you don't sometimes need to kill your battery with, the lightsaber beam coming out and torching things and causing fires.
No.
Fungus McGee, did someone say feet? Nice. But flashlights that are rechargeable, waterproof, that's a huge plus. Mm-hmm. Now, one of the things that I have never understood is why flashlights cost so much money.
It's insane why they cost so much money. Is it because of the lithium batteries?
There's a lot of stuff that has lithium ion batteries, so I'm not sure that that's why. Yeah. But I think it's maybe because you're dealing with something that has to take a lot of shock, so you can drop it and it's not going to break.
Maybe.
LED, always go with LED.
Always. They use a lot less power than the regular. They're not I guess they're incandescent bulbs.
The old ones.
Yeah, the old ones. I can't remember what they are, but
yeah.
Yeah, the LED ones are way better.
LED, you got to go with LED. Mm-hmm. Get waterproof if you can. I mean, for example, I had a flashlight sent to us from a company that wanted us to sell them. Mm-hmm. And I was testing it out. One frozen Christmas Eve. In Ohio, you'll get a kick out of this because it deals with poop and Brad in poop. Christmas Eve, our septic system froze because it was not put in properly.
Did it freeze, or was it just the sump pump was not working?
There were chunks of ice down in there, and the sump pump wasn't working.
Yeah, so our lift station light is flashing.
I'm like, oh, that looks like something fun that I want to do tonight.
Fantastic on Christmas Eve in Ohio.
I was literally out in the wet mud because it was like slushy ice. With my arm this far.
You actually have a scar.
I just got a scar on one of them. Is it this
one?
I
think it's that one.
Yeah.
It's on the outside.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. It's a good scar. Mm-hmm. And because that's a good one. Mm-hmm. That is human poop pipe. Human poo pipe.
Yeah, it was nasty.
But the moral of the story when we're dealing with flashlights is that piece of garbage flashlight was not actually waterproof. And they sold it as waterproof to 200 feet. And they were charging $100 for the flashlight.
It's nuts.
So I'm like, not going to endorse your product.
Nope.
No. So be careful of what you get, because a lot of these companies from China will tell you one thing and then they will sell you something else. And then you get out there and you're working and it is not actually the real deal.
Yeah.
Comments, Mama?
Oh, I'm not seeing. Tyler Wood says good flashlights have good durable switches. The switch is first to go.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah.
That is interesting.
Yeah, because that could be a good, like a indicator of what might be a garbage one.
Okay, here's a good question. What's a good lumen number for a flashlight?
Okay, now
An LED one.
LED flashlight, what's a good lumen number? Now you're talking to the wrong guy because I'm totally the more power guy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Remember
Yeah,
for that
Tim
show?
Allen, yeah.
The problem is the more power, the more lumens you have, the faster that battery drains, and it'll drain fast. I would say that I wouldn't, for a little one, like something that's around the house, like tiny one, a couple hundred lumens is not a big deal. 200 lumens, that's fine. Yeah. If you're talking about around the house outside, like fixing problems, I wouldn't go less than 600, 700, 800 for your high setting. And then for stuff like security, when you're out checking around the house, perimeter stuff, don't go anything less than 1,000. Yeah. And I would say high.
Yep.
Go higher. Just keep in mind, it's going to drain the battery fast.
Yep.
So, all right. Is it time
for our celebrity list?
Woody's Roundup. It's time for Woody's Roundup.
Oh, there you go. Steve Gunning says Binford 2000 flashlight extreme.
Yes. I need a flashlight that's hooked up to my generator.
Oh my gosh.
A gas generator.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, Binford. All right. We're going to move on to one of our celebrity panelists. Who should we do first? Should we talk about Prepsteader Bob's choices?
Sure.
Should we?
Sure.
Okay, these are channels that are friends of ours, and we do like to have fun with. And so if you see us going back and forth with them, like ribbing each other, ribbing us, ribbing them, it's not a negative thing.
No.
We're just having fun.
No. Nope. It's all in love.
Now, okay. Prepsteader Bob, he's related to the Self-Reliant Roadshow intimately, as he is the Mac Daddy of the Self-Reliant Roadshow.
Mac Daddy, huh?
And we have known Prepsteader Bob and his lovely bride for how long now?
2 years.
2 years.
It's coming up on 2 years.
And that dude is a freakish encyclopedia of knowledge when it comes to all things homesteading, construction, survival, codes. He's weird. He's almost like Rain Man of like survival.
Fish sticks on Tuesday.
Yeah, Wapner at 7.
Stop.
Wapner at 7. No, he's not like that.
No.
But he's crazy. He's wicked. My boy's wicked smart. And so he came up with, and okay, I got to back up. Talking to each one of these celebrity panelists, they all couldn't narrow it down to one. I had to force them. And then the second thing is they all did not start out with anything physical, tangible that I can hold in my hands. It was always knowledge of different aspects. And so I was like, no, that's great. And I'll tell them you need books, you need to have it here. You need to have it abilities. I'll tell them. But give them a tool, man. Tell them a tool.
A book is a great tool. However, just having the book is really not going to do any good. You got to read it,
right,
and know it.
So they were all knowledge. But then I forced the hand. And Prepsteader Bob, he basically said that he recommends that everyone rush out and get the weekend My Pretty Pony Princess set of forks and knives and a camping kit. That is absolutely a must, and make sure that you get it BPA free, because I could just keep going.
I know, and that's why I've turned my head away.
Obviously, that's a bunch of baloney.
That's a bunch of hooey.
Don't
listen to that in any way.
Why don't you tell him what he actually said?
He actually told us to get the Encyclopedia of Country Living by Carla Emery.
Excellent.
It's an excellent book. It's been out for 50 years. There's a 50th anniversary copy. That's surprising to me. And then any kind of book. Okay, now I wouldn't say any kind of book, because there are some books that are really not homestead-ish. I put a link down below to the one we have and really like, with dealing with livestock. But anything by Temple Grandin. She's got a few like biography kind of books or autobiography books.
Well,
those are about her.
She's got tons of books.
She's got tons of books. This lady is amazing. She has autism. She also has a PhD. Fantastic lady, super smart, dealing with livestock and homesteading, animals and things
all
like
aspects.
That. Yeah. So
and Prep Setter Bob basically, and by the way, I would recommend that you go and check out all of these channels and all of these resources, guys. There is so much here in YouTube in terms of the amount of knowledge we can gain if we just don't watch all the entertaining stuff that we actually go, okay, I really want to learn something about blah. And then you do it. Prep Setter Bob's channel is one of those channels. Okay? So check it out. But his choices, because he couldn't even just pick one. I said, just pick one.
Couldn't pick one.
Encyclopedia of Country Living and anything by Temple Grandin.
Yep.
And those links are down below.
Yeah.
And I would like to add that he's echoing everything that we've said about have physical copies.
Yep.
Get them now before you can't get them, because bottom line is when you need them and you don't have them, it's too late.
Yep.
Let's say you go, oh my gosh, yeah, you're right, Brad. And then all of a sudden something happens and then you don't have chickens. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. How do I do? My neighbor said I can have one chicken if I trade him a G&L guitar.
No, we can have 50 chickens.
50 chickens.
Yeah.
I'll give you the PV Rage amplifier. No. But anyway, the point is, it's too late then. If you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Vernon's asking for the names of the books again.
Okay. The first one is, and the links are down in the description box. The Encyclopedia of Country Living by Carla Emery, and then anything, I can't remember the name of the one by Temple Grandin is Temple Grandin's Guide to Working with Farm Animals.
Excellent.
That's the one we have, and it's a great resource.
Great resource, but get it now while you can get it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I was getting distracted by it. Okay. Are we ready for another one of our celebrity?
Yes.
Okay.
Go for it.
Our next celebrity panelist is Bear Independent. T over at Bear Independent. Oh, dang, I didn't even put our title thingy on here. Look at all this. Look how slick we are with a scrolling top thingy.
You did turn the jazz off, right?
No, but it's done now. It played the whole thing. Sorry about the jazz, people.
That's really funny.
Bear Independent. Okay. There is a crew of preppers. I think that they would all say fairly that they are led by Pastor Joe Fox, Viking Preparedness. Cue the intro. He does that every time.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't watch a ton of his videos just because I don't have time, but I do remember that.
Pastor Joe Fox is a rock star. And T over there at Bear Independent, they're buds. They live in the same vicinity. They do a lot of the same stuff. They share in community. And he's got a lot of great information, a lot of survival stuff. If you like your info with a little more edge and less humor, you might prefer Bear. But he's totally sweet guy. That's his vibe. That's his vibe. Right. He's more of an intense kind of guy. But this is what he said. First things first. And once again, I tried to nail him down to one thing. What is the one thing?
He couldn't do it.
And I said, I want a physical tool. He goes, well, the Bible. Duh. You better get to know your creator.
Yeah. Jeez.
And I said, yeah. People know that we're Christians. They know that we do this. Yeah, I agree. Bible first. Good Bear.
Right.
Naughty Bear. No.
That is a tool that everyone should have. Let's go with something
that he physically said, which is a good
Kniff.
a really good knife.
Yeah.
He suggested the Mora style knife because they're very utilitarian. They can be used for gutting and skinning. They can be cleaned and used for surgeries if you need to.
What?
Yeah.
I've never heard of them before today.
Yes.
So it's Mora knife, and it's spelled Morakinf.
Well, that's
the name brand. Yeah.
But then you go Mora. It's a style of knife.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can do a lot with it, and I encourage you to go look at his videos because he talks about the Mora knives.
Yeah.
Now, if he said you don't have anything, just get something. Even if it's a $15 knife, just go get that.
Right.
But obviously with knives, you don't have to spend $1 billion, but quality goes up fast if you get just out of the cheaper knives.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so Bear Independent recommends you get a Mora knife.
Yeah, and they're really,
tonight.
And they're actually the range of prices on them is really wide. I mean, they start around $9-10 and go up all the way to $100. So it depends on what you want to spend.
Yeah, yeah. So that's his recommendation. Now,
better Mora than Lessa.
Speaking of Tyler Woods.
That's clever, clever.
Speaking of Tyler Woods, I feel like we should have intro music. Wait a minute. We need jazz music for Tyler Woods. No, I'm not going to do it.
No.
Not going to do it.
You had muted it anyway.
Maybe I will. No, I won't. No, I won't. Jazz music for Tyler Woods. Okay. If you don't know, Tyler Woods is... He's a friend of the channel. Hangs out a lot. Great input. He's always witty, and I'm probably filling his head like with every pump. Aren't I so great? I have massive skills. He is a rock star. A lot of experience working with all of the big government. And but the thing that I really like is that he's a retired pastor who has all that experience. So he's got the perspective of where we want to be, plus all that experience of how to deal with all the government stuff and FEMA and all that and big companies. So he's also an author. He has written a book, many books.
Many leather-bound books?
He has many leather-bound books. He's kind of a big deal. Sorry, that's a quote from a movie.
Tyler is here to pump you up.
That's great.
All right. You are so witty.
One of the books we're going to push for Tyler tonight, because it's an excellent book, it's called 11th Hour Preparedness. And once again, he didn't want to be tied down to one little thing. He was like, as a matter of fact, this is kind of funny. After our conversation, and we're like doing show prep, I get an email. Yeah. And of course, he's got like a million suggestions that we have to have in there. So don't forget this and don't forget that.
That's funny.
I'm like, dude, I just said one. I just need one.
Goodness gracious.
So why don't you tell him about what the first thing that he said, no, you got to tell him about
this
that.
One?
That is the word.
An attitude.
A good attitude.
A good attitude. Well, you didn't say good. You just said attitude.
I have an attitude.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got an attitude some days, too. Whether it's a good one or a saucy one or a bad one. But a good attitude actually is very, very helpful. So.
Well.
Did that help you in any way?
It did. Thank you. I actually had the blessing of working with a motivational speaker guy named Zig Ziglar. And he was also a Christian and also just super, super wise guy. And one of the things he would say is one of his catchphrases was, your attitude determines your altitude. And he was using it in business, but it applies in all forms of life. And one of the things that Tyler wanted to make sure that I hammered on this was that if you're in a situation that's crazy, that you need to be able to focus. You need to be able to get your head out of panic mode. Oh my gosh, what? You need to be able to understand what's going on, and your attitude has to be a one of, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
I know the skills. Let's do this.
Yep.
And not, woe is me. Mm-hmm. Not, oh my gosh, we're all gonna blah, blah, blah. So attitude. Then after that, I forced his hand, and he said,
a good water purifier. There are so many different ones. There are two that come to the forefront of my mind immediately when you talk about water filters. There is one that will filter a lot of water at once, which is the Berkey filter.
Yep.
And you can get them. They're huge. You can get small ones, you can get big ones. It all depends on how big your family is. But those are fantastic filters. They filter out everything. Pond water is excellent, and not that we do that very often.
You got to boil it first, baby.
Yeah, I know. Then you run it through the
duck
Berkey,
pond. Yeah, just start drinking duck pond water.
No,
you would get so sick.
Anyway. Then the Life Straw. It's more of a personalized item you can just put in your backpack or your purse, and it's super, super handy. So
yeah, and I would also like to add, get a hold of some of the water purification tablets.
Yep.
Get a hold of some bleach.
Yep.
But know how to use it.
Yep.
If you drink bleach, you're a moron, so don't do that.
Don't do that.
But if you know how to use bleach, mm-hmm. Get that knowledge, understand how to do it. And here's another thing too: when you go to the store, it's actually hard to find regular bleach anymore.
Yes,
regular bleach.
You can still find it, but you gotta get the regular, the non-concentrated. A lot of the bleaches now are concentrated.
And you have to. Well, if you can only get concentrated, then you got to figure out how to shrink it down.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So Berkeys are great. Get extra black filters, says Pat Zimmerman. I agree. Now, we have made out of food grade plastic buckets and
generic water filters, right?
That are identical.
And they are a fraction of the cost of the Berkey filters.
They're Doulton, Doulton.
Yeah.
And you can do with that however you want. What we have done is we actually bought the Berkey.
Mm-hmm. We did.
We have it.
Uh-huh.
But then we bought the Doultons as backups.
Mm-hmm. And what's great is right now our water that comes, it's well water, mm-hmm. But it tastes. It's perfect. There's no impurities. There's no sulfur or well water flavor in any way. I love it. So we don't even use our Berkey. It's downstairs being stored.
Right. So, okay, let's see. I think we're out of our list, baby, which is so... Oh, no, I forgot mine.
Yours?
Mine.
Okay.
Do you want to do yours?
I didn't pick one.
Yeah, sure you did. Remember, we talked about it. What's your must-have for the apocalypse?
Okay.
When the zombies are coming and we're out of ammo,
so
and
silly.
we've strategically placed... like treadmills around the whole house, so when the zombies come, they can't get in.
All around the windows, by the windows, you just have a treadmill.
They just keep walking, mm-hmm. fall right back.
Yeah,
but if they get in,
I got my Reese's. Not really.
Reese's peanut butter cups.
I like them a lot, but I am a week. I've been dry. No Reese's.
Dry?
No.
That's funny.
Yeah, I know.
It's a dry county. They have no Reese's peanut butter cups here. You're in no man's land. Yeah, no Reese's for you.
All right. What's your tool?
My tool, of course, scripture, prayer, all of that stuff. Getting to know God, is a good medical kit, a survival kit that has the ability to stop blood, like the blood clot mm-hmm. stuff, something that has gunshot wound capability, all of the tools, all of the sutures, all of the stuff that you're going to need in an emergency. I prefer a kit that can be affixed onto another bag or jacket or anything Molly or Mole, however you prefer to call it, the military gear that you can kind of just mix and match and patch things on or off or whatever. But a good medical kit is a duh. It's a no-brainer. I mean, even in basic survival stuff, guys, people sprain their ankles.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Or, break fingers. I mean, that happens.
Basic cuts can be deadly if you cannot get to a doctor and you don't have the ability to clean it out properly, sew it up properly, have the correct, and all of this, you need it all. Right. And you need to know how to use it.
Right. Oh, like adult Legos.
That is totally it, Nathaniel. Well done, Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Molly is adult Legos.
That's great.
So there's our list and the experts lists, guys. There they are. Boom.
Yeah. I mean, and we didn't say everything on this list.
Because some of it's kind of like, really?
Well, actually, the only thing we didn't say was signal equipment. Everything else we said.
See, signaling equipment, I think
if you're,
it works both ways.
Yeah, I think that's mainly if you are lost kind of thing, and that way you want to signal for help. But
McFly is saying get some fish mucks from a pet store.
Yes.
And yes, we know what that is. Fish psyllin, fish. Okay. You need to go and do your own research on this because we're not doctors.
No.
We're not making any kind of medical advice in any way. But look into antibiotics that people take, and then look into antibiotics for pet fish care.
Yep.
You might find that there's striking similarities that you can buy over the counter on the internet without a prescription. Just saying, you might find that information out if you did a little search. Just whatever. So, I got to say, guys, it's been fun.
It has. It's been real.
It's been real fun. Has it been real fun?
Yeah, sure. It's always real fun with you, baby.
All right. Alrighty, guys, we are a family of believers, so we do like to end our time together in prayer. But I don't feel like it's a good idea to try to cram anything down anybody's throat.
Love for you to stay.
Love for you to stay. But be warned. We're going to talk about Jesus for a second. And so with that, if you got to go, see you later. Hope you stay. Paused enough?
Sure.
All right. Here's the deal, guys. Without a relationship with Christ, none of this matters. None of it matters.
Right.
Because why stay along just a little bit longer if there's nothing to stay around for? So that is it. I hope it's not sounding negative. It's an encouragement to draw near to the God who created you. Because we're all going to meet him someday. And all the fish mocks and flashlights and emergency medical supplies don't mean squat if you don't know the Creator. So with that, we're going to say a quick prayer and say goodnight. Father God, we thank you so very much for how you love us. And I ask that each and every one of these people here just know how much you have done for them, how much you care, that it's not plastic, hey, brother, hope things are well, but you are truly, truly a blessing in people's lives, and that it's a real thing and not just whitewashed. Give everybody a big old hug for us. Thank you for coming, and we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. Alrighty, guys.
Have a good evening. Have a blessed evening.
Yes. Bye.